Shout out to the lads at Edlington Motors who got me this through JCT 600. Frank's just come all the way from Bury, he's going to fit it for me now, Mercedes specialist. So thank you very much to David and those at JCT 600, alright? Yeah. Thank you very much. Hello all you hardcore boxing fans out there, it's Big Porky here. And still the voice of hardcore boxing. I'm joined today by my close personal friend Frank from Bury. He's come to see me for a cuppa and a chat and a catch up. And while he's been here, I've collared him with his socket set and he's fitted my new grill on my car for me. And obviously he's dealt with Mercs for years and that. So 20 minutes later, VADA facelift. It's a pity I can't do one with these teeth in it, but that's another matter. Now, I'm going to answer a few emails. We've had quite a few sent in. I'm just going to go through a few of these here and give my opinion, because that's all it is, isn't it? Opinions. And then we're going to have a little chat about latest goings on in the world of boxing. So, right. Porky, keep grinding, mate. Your videos are top draw and very much appreciated. They'll never be able to shut you down for sticking to the facts. I know you've mentioned before about Fleet Street having a pile of papers on Xboxers. It's actually what you say. We don't really know much about what's going on, but what we do know, it's never actually reported. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that, and I do know what you mean by that. The actual AJ drug thing is probably close to the mark where they, the powers that be, may be able to put pressure and restrict who sees what you're uploading. You might be right on that, but I think until somebody fails a drug test, we can't be quick to judge, can we, Frank? Do you know what I mean? There's no proof. Whatever people are giving negative drug tests, like George Grove said, we can't be quick to judge. But what I do want to see is some transparency. When we've got people in the boxing industry, the media asking questions to Matchroom, Eddie Earn, Frank Smith, not Frank Smith here, Frank Smith at Matchroom, Frank Smith with the spots. And oxycute them, Frank, with Oxy 10. When you've got people like that, and Adam Smith and Joshua and McCracken, all of them, they're just putting their heads in sand and just getting on with it. The brass necks on them is unbelievable. But now that the media have got a slice of have got a sniff of what's going on, what they're going to do is, right, they're going to keep going on and on until they get on and on and on until they get some answers. Now, the New York media, they were asking the main questions, but nobody seemed to be asking any from England. I saw Rob Tebber on Boxing Social put it on Adam Smith, and Adam Smith turned the question into something like, well, they were speaking about cursing and swearing and choice words, wasn't it, his exact words that he said. The question wasn't that. The questions were, what have you got to say about allegations about Anthony Joshua being given an exemption ticket to take growth hormone when he turned pro? Because he turned pro after Olympics, didn't he? But he then went missing for over a year and came back. He started gangly, came back looking like the Incredible Hulk who'd been on a sunbed. Now, as far as I'm concerned, people need to be transparent. I don't want to hear Eddie Earn putting his head in sand, because if this were an opponent of Joshua's, Eddie would be screaming it from the rafters. Now, there's something going on, and we're not going to get to the bottom on it, because you know whenever you get a liar, you never get to the bottom on it with a liar, because all they do, they just tell another lie. And you know what they say about a liar, don't you? You can't trust a liar. Now, if you're weighing just over 15 stone in the Baku World Championships 2011, and then you're walking around looking like Lou Ferrigno 2 years later, and your body fat's less, something's wrong. You're either genetically gifted, or, well, we know the alternatives, don't we? Something's going on, and people need to start asking questions. But what I want to know is, apart from Miller and Dillian White, who else is asking these questions about Joshua and steroids? Nobody's saying he's failed a test, but we want some answers. Now, I don't want to hear no comment or I'm not answering that. I want to hear no, definitely not, we've never had an exemption ticket. And then it's on them to prove. Now, why aren't the British Boxing Board of Control coming out? Why are they putting their heads in the sand? We all want to know what's going on. Is he juicing or isn't he juicing? It's a simple question and we want a simple answer. Now, then he's going to say the AJ drug thing is probably close to the mark where they... Oh, we've read that bit. I watch all your videos, sometimes 2-3 times over the day to digest what you're saying. AJ's 2 year on the classic, 2 year on the sofa is a classic line I use when I'm with my AJ casual friends. You're a card, you Frankie. The feedback I would give you based on what you told me about your channel possibly getting closed down is to get smarter. Well, listen, people have been trying to close me down for years. I'm like a rubber ball, Frankie, I just keep bouncing back. The trolls and the haters just make me even more determined. I'm in a position to do this for another 5 years. So get used to me because I'm here to stay. What I mean by this is sometimes you're in the car and you'll pick up or answer your phone or you'll fiddle with the camera. You know these are blah de blah. Nobody has picked up on this blah de blah. It would be something very easy. Blah de blah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Look, I'm not going to read all that out because we can go on and on and on. Look, as far as I'm concerned, right, I'm here to stay, Frankie. Thank you for your support and thank you for pointing out certain things. And all the best from me. Bump bump. Keep on trucking. Right, that's that one. Oh look, it's put keep on trucking at end. Thank you very much. A long one that. Been watching some interviews over the past few days and just now where Eddie says AJ can fight on ESPN, no problem. But what about the UK TV rights for us? Well, what would happen with the UK TV rights on that? If Joshua fought on ESPN, that would mean that DAZN are not going to get him on their channel. They would want a cut of that, or they would want half. Now, if he goes on ESPN and it's half with DAZN, fair enough. If he's not going on DAZN and he's going to fight Tyson Fury on ESPN, it's simple. DAZN are going to get a kickback, aren't they, off it? Now, Frank Warren, he'd let him go on Sky. Do you know why? Because Frank Warren's a whore. He would let it be Joshua against Tyson Fury. Frank Warren would say, let it go on Sky. Because he's not bothered, is he? He's just going to get his cut in it. But I think the best thing for them all to do, ESPN, DAZN in America, Sky, BT Sports, and just share it and give the fans what they want. Just share. Let BT Sports have their share at pay-per-views and let Sky have theirs and let the fans choose who they want to pick it with. Or put it all in a pot and split it a quarter each. That's all they've got to do, innit? All we're talking about is cameras. They don't have big massive cameras no more. The cameras that are not much bigger than mine. And they just have them in corners at ring out. They're not that big, are they, nowadays, cameras, Frank, are they? No. The days of massive things like they used to do at Crucible for snooker are gone.
They're using these?
They're using them now, yeah. Why don't they just share it all and give fans what they want? I don't want to see fights that are not getting made. I don't want it to be another 5-6 year Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather one. So Frankie's then gone on to say AJ has a contract set in stone for him to be shown on Sky Sports box office. But should a situation arise where AJ is involved in purse bidding and losers, he surely must fight on that other network and it affiliates. Very good point. Now what we do know is that Eddie Hearn has won 7 purse bids in 32 years, him and his dad. 32 years, 7 purse bids, and 3 of them were area titles. So look, we all know what Matchroom are about. They send the fighter on the road, they cop the TV money, don't they, from the own fighter. So that's what they're about. They're about money. They're not about friends. Oh, that is my new best friend. Look, if Joshua got knocked out 3 times on trot and he decided to pack boxing in, Eddie Hearn would never send him a Christmas card ever again, trust me. It's business. That's how they look at it. And Joshua knows what it's all about. That's why he's walking around. He's got 15 blue chip sponsors all over him. He's like a walking billboard. He's getting as much money as he can and getting out. But one thing I do notice is, you know, these evening with Anthony Joshua's, he's not got as many booked, whereas Tyson Fury, he's booked off at charts, isn't he? The tables have turned, haven't they? Right, that's from Frankie in Cricklewood, NW London. That's northwest, is it, Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, we'll do this one here from you, Frankie. You've had a good do today. Right, Porky, skip to 12:25 minutes, and Dillian says what you've been saying about Dubai and explains about AJ's TUEs. That's the exemptions, isn't it? I'll watch that another time. I've not seen that interview, but look, all these guys in the boxing industry, right? Dillian White and all they've got to do is what they are doing. They watch my channel. I don't know if Dillian watches it, but I do know a lot of other people who are not going to come out and say it, but they do watch my channel because I keep it real. I'm not just going to sit here and tickle you with a feather duster. We're going to tell the truth here, right? We are the truthers of boxing here at Porky's Corner. All we want is good fights. We don't want to be lied to. We don't want fannying, and that's not swearing. We don't want fannying by all these people who are just in it for money. They don't care about boxers. If Eddie Hearn's got $1 billion, right, or £1 billion, why don't they put something into pensions? Why don't they create a light heavyweight, a light cruiserweight, and a super cruiserweight to bridge the gap from light heavy to cruiser, and from cruiser to heavyweight, extend it to £210. Safety reasons, but they won't. They'll only do that when somebody gets hurt, or they'll talk about it. Like they spoke about it about poor Scott Westgarth, may he rest in peace. Now Scott, he'd have been better fighting at 187, wouldn't he? He said they're having a war at £175. That extra £12 at 187, that could have made a difference for poor Scott, couldn't it? £175 to £200, that's a big jump when you're growing up, when you're getting older. Adonis Stevenson's disabled now, isn't he? He struggled to make 175, but he was too small to make £200. So if he fought at 187, would he be in a better position now? Of course he would. When a fighter loses a lot of weight, when there's nothing to come out of them, they'll come out of the sauna and they'll still be on the same weight after another hour in sauna. And then they'll say, well, there's nothing else to come out of me. Do you know when that happens? Like it happened to Lee Purdy, and Barry Hearn got a fine for taking him in the sauna, didn't he? And Eddie were bragging about it on IFL, they got a fine. Lee Purdy had no more fluids to come out of his body. When nothing's coming out of your body, all the fluid's gone from your brain. Now your brain is like a tomato, right? A hard tomato, and it's protected by like a gel and water. When you're drained, right, your head swells. Have you ever seen them poor kids in foreign countries that are poor and they're starving? The heads get bigger, don't they? Because there's not fluid going in all the time, so they're constantly in pain. Now, I'm not saying that happened to Lee Purdy because he got through the fight, didn't he? But Dana Barker stopped it, didn't he? He got through a few rounds, but there was nothing in the tank, and they got fined, didn't they, Matchroom? That's because it drained everything out of his body. When there's no to come off your body, it's the fluids around your brain. That's the last bit, and that's why we have brain injuries in the sport of boxing. So I think 175 and to 200, it's a big jump. Why don't we have a weight division in between, like a light cruiser? We have a light welterweight, a light middle. Why not a light cruiser? And then after cruiser, £200, extend the heavyweights to anything over 210 or 212. Go up £12 after that, because people are getting bigger, aren't they? Deontay Wilder, if he gets injured as an heavyweight, do you know what people will say? Oh, he's got injured by, for example, Joshua, and he's 3 stone smaller. Wouldn't Deontay Wilder have been better as a super cruiserweight at the weight he is now? Health and safety. Remember that. Fighters' health is more important, isn't it, than a promoter driving around like Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, living in big mansions, driving Rolls Royces with private plates. Ain't that better that the fighters' welfare is, you know, looked after, rather than these people cashing in on these fighters? Because you know, once a fighter's no good to these people, what do they do? What do they do? Is Lee Selby Frank Warren's best mate now? He's on undercards now, isn't he? We were headlining at Legion United a few months ago, wasn't he? I'm only saying, we know what happens, don't we? We know what happens when these people are no good to them. So, anyway, that's the questions done now. We'll go over to boxing scene and just have a little look what's been going on boxing scene. We've done this off at a cuff today as well, because all we've got wrote down here is a bit of writing regarding with something I'm going to mention at end. Look, that's all off the cuff. Might be that, Frank. Let's have a look here. Luis Ortiz, Wilder rematch, his fight to make. The fans want it. Well, it looks like he's gone for Brazil on May 18th. James DeGale announces retirement. Good move. I'm pleased for James DeGale. He's a millionaire. The secret now is, James, to keep your money. Olympic champion, British, European and a two-time IBF world champion. He beat 2 world champions and he's been in with some great fights. He's had pay-per-view fights. I wish him all the best. But I think that last pay-per-view, I think he lied to us just to get pay-per-view and get a pension. But I wish him all the best. But it's time to retire. So well done, James DeGale. Let's hope you can get a job now as a pundit with George Groves. De La Hoya, Canelo Japers can play out like Chavez Taylor? I don't think so. Felix Verdejo aims to go for the world title later this year. I think he'll get one. De La Hoya, fans deserve the Canelo versus Golovkin trilogy fight. Yes, they do, because a draw and the Canelo win, for me, they've got unfinished business. They've got unfinished business. I didn't think the results were fair, but nobody's going to get a fair shake against Canelo fighting in America. Not if you're European. Canelo, the £10 rehydration rule on Jacobs was IBF, not me. Well, this is what point we're making again about these fighters, right? Let me tell you a little story. Do you know, people give me stick for mentioning Carl Froch, but because I know him personally, I always go on what I've learnt from him and following him, right? Carl Froch walks around at 172 when he was a fighter. He's about 185 now when he was fighting, and he was very strict with his food. He got on the scales at 168 and he put that £4 back on over 36 hours. Canelo, right, when he was fighting at 155, the weight division that he created, he was going in the ring at 175. Now that's £20. If you're getting in the ring at 175 and you're a light middleweight, the guy that you're fighting, more than likely, because Canelo's a cherry picker with weight, he's probably just putting on £6 or £7. If you're putting on more than £6 or £7, Froch used to say to me that that's not your weight division, you need to step up. Now this is why Canelo has an unfair advantage, but Jacobs is another one, isn't he? He put £20 on overnight when he fought Golovkin. Now when they got in the ring, he was £10 heavier than Golovkin. Now they say that he won, but Golovkin got the decision. I had it to Golovkin by a round, but it's open to debate. Weight divisions are there for a reason, right? You know, fighters are not superheroes, right? They're fighters. So why do we need to be messing with all these weights? Why don't we go back to weighing in on the same day? Then it's all fair, isn't it? There's none of this rehydration stuff. And all we have to do then is let fighters step up. Because all it's proving now is everything I've been saying for the last couple of years, that people are getting bigger. For example, heavyweight. Do you know Joe Frazier when he won world title 50 years ago? Right? He was 60 odd pound less than Tyson Fury. So what am I saying here? Humans are getting bigger in the heavyweight division by a pound. By a pound. I've just read Jimmy Tibbs's book. Now, Jimmy Tibbs in them days got weighed in on the same day. The same day. And everything were all fair, wasn't it? Nowadays, you've got guys pulling guys from one division and pulling them from another, so that the promoters are manipulating it. So what happens is, you get like certain fighters like Canelo and Matthew Hatton. Matthew Hatton came up from welterweight to fight Canelo. So they did it as a catch weight, even though it were a light middleweight. When Canelo got in the ring at 169, Matthew Hatton got in the ring at 158. What's that tell you? He's already 11 pounds behind the ball. Which is about right, isn't it? Because Canelo's big foot weight, Matthew Hatton's a welter. He had no business in that ring at that weight. Canelo's really a light heavyweight boiled down to light middle. It's just unfair. Sooner or later, as I said before and I'll say again, somebody's going to get hurt. And what then? It's too late then, isn't it? We have weight divisions for a reason. For example, yet again, Gerald McClellan. He stepped up from middleweight to super middle to fight Nigel Benn. Everybody said he'd blow Nigel Benn away. What happened were, when it got to round 6 and Nigel Benn was still there coming at him, he didn't know what to do, did he? But do you know, on the night, right, do you know what he weighed? He weighed about 8 pounds less than Nigel Benn. Do you know what the difference is between super middleweight and middleweight? 8 pounds. See where I'm coming from? We have weight divisions as a reason. McClellan on the scales the day before weighed 165. Nigel Benn weighed 168. Bang on the weight, natural super middleweight. He'd moved up from middle. Because he was struggling back in the day. When he fought Eubank first time, he was killing him, Ben. Weight divisions are for a reason. If you're struggling at the weight, all you boxers, young boxers out there, move up a weight. Because humans are getting bigger, aren't they? And as you get older, you carry a bit more fat, like me. So, but promoters, it's the only sport where, boxing's the only sport, right, where the rats, 90% of them are rats, the promoters, where they're getting the lions scared. In other words, the lions are scared of the rats. You see where I'm coming from? There you go. So, right, let's just go through the rest of them. 21 minutes, 8 minutes. Just have a look. Eddie Hearn, I felt Jacobs beat Golovkin, confident he beats Canelo. Well, Eddie Hearn's going to say that, isn't he? Jacobs as his fighter. But if you look at why Eddie Hearn signed Jacobs, if you go on IFL, it says, and I quote, I signed Daniel Jacobs because he's got a great story, he's beat cancer. At no stage did he start mentioning any of his performances. Now, if you look at his record, he's beat 2 world champions, Pirog, and another guy, I forgot his name now. So Jacobs hasn't really got a CV that's going to beat Canelo. He's fighting the golden boy of boxing. We're looking at somebody that's beat 2 world champions, and I don't think he beat Golovkin. Canelo's beat more than 12. I don't know the exact amount, it's more than 12. I can count 12 if I go through boxer, but there might be a couple of them that might have been upgraded to a world champion, that, and I ain't got time to check through that, but he's probably beat more than 10 guys better than him. He's been in with elite guys, he's been in with Mayweather, so I don't think Jacobs really gets anywhere near Canelo. And they keep going on about the Golovkin performance from Jacobs. Let me tell you this, that was 26 months ago. 26 months when you get older than 30, that's a long time, isn't it? Look, we were all talking about Canelo fighting Golovkin 5 years ago, weren't they? They waited till Golovkin got a little bit older, and that's all Canelo's done with Jacobs. He's waited till he's put a couple more years on his back and got a few more miles on clock. Timing is everything, isn't it, in boxing? Always remember that. De La Hoya explains legal threat to Mayweather over Ryan Garcia. I'm not even interested in that. I'm not interested in legal messes. It's always promoters, isn't it, crying about money. Go sell your private jet, Oscar De La Hoya. Pulev versus Dinu. Magdaleno versus Rimos. Finalised for March 23rd. So here we've got Pulev, who's just beat Yuri Fury. He's fighting. He's risking his IBF position. against Joshua to fight that Dino, and that is in California. Now, as far as I'm concerned, he's dicing with death. Look, there you go, Pulev. And who's Pulev with there? Bob Arum. And who has Bob Arum just signed? Tyson Fury. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Don't be surprised if something happens here where Pulev's the patsy. He either ends up fighting Tyson Fury at some stage this year, or he ends up getting jobbed because he's immaterial, Pulev. Nobody's interested in him in America, but he's got something that Bob Arum and Tyson Fury will want. IBF #1 slot, hasn't he, Frank?
Definitely.
So, look, my new best friend, what does that tell you? Now, me and Frank have met Pulev. He don't do best friends, but if there's something in him for him, he will. But Bob Arum don't do friends either, I can assure you. Not unless you're lying in his pocket. But what they're trying to do here, they're trying to get Eddie Hearn in a checkmate. So why would a Vegas-based American promoter sign a European from Bulgaria who's not going to sell a ticket in Vegas? Come on. He's got the #1 position. Do you think if Huey Fury had beat him in Bulgaria, he'd have come and signed him? It's all about manoeuvring people into positions. But that's basically it on that one. So Pulev's coming to Vegas to fight Dino. So that should be a walkover for him. But like I've just said to you, don't be surprised if he gets jobbed. Dominic Brazil, I'm ready to fight Wilder. Luis Ortiz, Christian Hammer open workout. Weekend. Luis also. It's all getting exciting, isn't it? But as far as I'm concerned, the heavyweight division at the moment, it's shocking. Nobody's fighting anybody. The bogeymen, in my opinion, are Joe Joyce, Luis Ortiz and Caballel, Dillian White. You've got 4 bogeymen there who can't get a fight with top guys. Why? Why? People keep going on about who Tyson Fury is going to fight next. In my opinion, it'll be Parker against Tyson Fury next for Tyson. And I think we need to have a round robin. I mean, if you look at the top 10 guys, we need to have a round robin. Why don't they just all sign? Why don't we have a tournament? Something needs to be done, because if then we need, the boxing industry at the moment is screaming out for, the boxing industry is screaming out for one champion. We want one champion, even if it's just for one fight, because then the belts will all get split up, won't they? It don't matter. That man then who's got all them belts, he can throw them all in the bin and just keep the Ring Magazine belt. He can be known then as the man. Why can't Joshua just do a 50-50 for them fights and then say, if I win, I'm never going to do a 50-50 ever again, and give the fans one name, one face of boxing? Because if he beats Wilder and Tyson Fury, he is the face of boxing. If Tyson Fury beats Wilder and Joshua, he's the face. If Wilder beats Tyson and Joshua, he's the face. We need one champion. That's all we need, one champion, and then I can just pack my stuff and go. One champion is what we need. That's all we need, just one. So, but
it's all about the money.
It's about the money, isn't it, Frank? It's not about legacy. People say it's not about the money, it's about legacy. Look, if it were about legacy, Dillian White had gone and fought Caballel for European. But maybe that ain't pay-per-view, I don't know. But Dillian's WBC #1. Why are they fighting him? Why is he fighting Brazil? Why don't they start paying people what they're worth? Dillian's a good name, he does numbers now. He's knocking former champs out. He beat Parker, he beat Brown. He's fought Chisora twice, who gave Vitaly Klitschko nightmares. He gave Tyson nightmares at the first fight. We need one champion, and Dillian White needs his chance. He's earned it, hasn't he, Dillian?
Definitely.
He's definitely earned it. Caballel's earned a chance as well. So that's what I want to see, but we've still got enough time to say this. We'll carry on. I just want to see one champion. That's all I want. And I think, do you know what, Frank? I think if we can have one champion, one heavyweight champion that the fans can look to, just that one fight. If if Wilder could fight Joshua, the Ring Magazine have thrown belting, so you'd have 6 belts, wouldn't you? Joshua's got 4, Wilder's got 1, and the throat ring belt in. You've got 6 belts on the line. It's never been done. We'd all look at the winner as the man, wouldn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And then the winner of that would then have to fight Tyson for because he's got that lineal status. Is he or isn't he? He'd have to have his say, wouldn't he, Tyson? Who is a masterful boxer, Frank, isn't he? He's got to be given his chance. We can't have them, these fighters, hiding behind. We can't have fighters hiding behind TV companies. Now, I'm gonna read something out to you now. Right? A friend sent me this today. Right? I'm gonna read it out to you. This is from Tom Kershaw, apparently, in the Independent. I thought it was from Steve Bunsbury. I doubt very much that Bunsey would write anything like this because he works for BT Sport and now he's ESPN man, isn't he? British correspondent. But this is just an extract from this, from Tom Kershaw. If the same fate befalls the heavyweight division and we do not see Joshua take on Fury or Wilder until its last and most lucrative ember, it will be a tragedy of the sport, one which will always leave this generation of heavyweights with questions over their legacies. Whether it's Joshua sacrificing small percentages for the sake of legacy, or Wilder walking away from his alliance with Showtime, both fighters have the power to force a meeting with one another, or with Fury. But for now, the lies and propaganda perpetuate and YouTube channels are used as spin doctors. Nothing is new in the standstill and grubby scandal of the heavyweight division. As always, the ugliest elements in boxing are played out in the trading of blows outside the ring. Now what Tom Kershaw is trying to say is, I don't know Tom Kershaw personally, but I know of him. He's in nobody's pocket. I'm not saying anybody's in anybody's pocket in newspapers, but as Frank will tell you here, newspapers have favourites with newspaper guys who write the stories. They're affiliated. I'm not saying Steve Bunce has got his favourites. He's quite neutral, but I am mates with Bunsey. But Bunsey is employed by BT Sport, and as good as he is at his job, and he knows everybody, and he is one of the lads, and he's trustworthy, and he's very discreet. Bunsey's employed by ESPN, and he's employed by Frank Warren. So I'm glad Bunsey didn't write that, because he'd probably get in a bit of trouble. Yeah, it's very easy to fall out with people in boxing because people are very fragile. Now Bunsey back in the day got banned from all Mickey Duff's press conferences, even one in Italy. He had to pay his own fee out there. Now that's just the way, that's just how it goes. He was banned for a few years, and I think they ended up shaking hands and moving on. But that's just what happens now. This is why nobody's going to break ranks and come out and say, this is not right. It's like, for example, you know Mike Tyson, when he was going off at rails, right, Butch Lewis did an article and he said, what it needs is somebody to approach Mike Tyson and say, hey Mike, don't do that Mike, that's not right. Well, this is what this needs in boxing industry. It needs somebody to approach Joshua and say, hey Anthony, look, we know that you've probably made about 140, 150 million. We know you've got contracts with 15 blue chip companies, and that if you take a loss, the revenue that you get every month from these companies goes down to whatever it goes down to, and that will affect your manager and all the people around you. But Anthony, it needs you to give these lads 50-50 and just fight. Now, they're not going to do it because they're stubborn, aren't they? And I can see where he's coming from, because Tyson Fury's not got a belt, has he? Right? Wilder's got 1 belt, Joshua's got 4, hasn't he? I can see where he's coming from, but we're at a stalemate here where the fights are not happening, and they don't look like they're going to happen now. Now, if Tyson Fury, and it's looking likely that he's going to fight Parker next, Brazil's fighting Wilder, Joshua's fighting Miller, and then he's going to fight his mandatories, we could be looking at 2022 before these fights even get sorted. Because this fight with Wilder is not a mandatory fight. This Brazil fight, Dillian Whyte's, is mandatory. So where are we going with these fights? Dillian might get a shot at Wilder, but he's not going to get Joshua, is he? When you've got a man holding 4 of the 5 belts hostage, he can do what he wants. They can put exemption certificates in for fights, as well as they're allegedly doing for other things. Allegedly doing it for drugs, but these fighters, promoters, they're going to manoeuvre around things, and if they have to fight somebody at one point, they might end up just paying step aside money or say they've got an injury. It's going to be played out, and we, the fans and the hardcore fans, we're the patsies in all this, aren't we? Because we're going to be paying the 20 quid, aren't we, for it all, and we're the ones that are following it daily. We're hardcore fans. Frank's an hardcore fan, I am. We want to see these fights. Frank's grown up with Furies, but he wants to see Tyson fight them. Of course we want to do, but it's the people behind the scenes. Mick Hennessy got Tyson in position to fight Vladimir. He went to Germany. Frank Warren got him in position to fight Wilder. He went to their backyards. It's about time Tyson wasn't the opponent, so I can see that. And yeah, Tyson's a big name now. I want to see him earn millions. But I also think he should fight the main guys, and if he don't win, he's still going to be massive. He'll probably be even bigger in defeat if he loses. If he wins, he'll be off at scale, won't he? But either way, isn't it best to have a go? Right. My granddad, years and years ago when I was a kid, once said to me, do you know what, all you can do, Russ, in life, all you can do is do your best. Now, he didn't say a lot to me because they never showed affection or love that age group. If he were alive today and he lived till he were nearly 90, he'd be 93. But he used to say to me, all you can do is do your best. Now, his son, my Uncle Dave, used to say to me, just do your best, and that's all you can do, innit? Do your best. And if that ain't good enough, tell you what, you shake your hand, don't you? Say, well, I had a go, but I just wasn't good enough. I'm like that when I play people who are better than me at pool. If I lose, you know yourself if you give your best. But if you don't, but you also know yourself if you don't want it and you want the money. Because it's looking to me like we're being sold a load of crock. We're being sold a load of crap. And if you want to delve deeper into it and look at the records, you can pull them apart, can't you, all 3 of them. We can big them up as our heroes and the best of this era, but the bottom line is this, right? This era is the poorest era since the Marciano reign. It's even poorer than Larry Holmes's reign, and that was shocking. And it was even worse when Mike Tyson came on scene, wasn't it? Because it all just fell into his lap. Now, if you look at Mike Tyson's record, and all you Mike Tyson fans are going to hammer me, but go on BoxRec and go and speak to the experts. Who is Mike Tyson's 3 best wins? Who? Now, the biggest grossing fight that he had, well, Lennox Lewis, but he didn't win that. So who's his best 3 wins? Michael Spinks, would you agree with that? Yeah. And what were his weight? He were a light heavy, wasn't he? Yeah. Moving up. Michael Spinks, he got in the ring at 199. Mike Tyson, what were he, 220? 222 or something? Michael Spinks is Mike Tyson's best win. That proves it were a poor era. His second best win were Larry Holmes, coming off a 2-year-plus layoff. An old man, aged 38, 39. They're his best 2 wins. His third win, you'd probably have to say Trevor Berbick or maybe Frank Bruno. Is that it? From this legendary figure, Mike Tyson. So that proves that that era were terrible, doesn't it? Larry Holmes' era wasn't so better, but he had a longer reign, didn't he? But there were a lot of stiffs, weren't there? But you say his best win were Kenny Norton and Ernie Shavers, who never won a world title. So that era were poor as well, wasn't it? Marciano, his best win were probably, couldn't even tell you, at Jersey Joe Walcott, they fight him. He were a light heavyweight, wasn't he? Don't quote me on that, but if you could check on BoxRec, I think Jersey Joe were a light heavyweight. Was it Archie Moore? One of them 2, wasn't it? I can't remember now. One of them 2, but I think probably his best win. And the rest of them were just guys over ill and poor eras. And this era, they're saying it's the golden generation and all that. How is it? How is it? How many world title fights has Tyson Fury had? 2. For all this boxing god and masterful boxer, and he is, and he's looked masterful against them all, but he's only had 2 world title fights. So the other guys he's fought were like European British level, wasn't it? when you delve deeper, I'm not digging Tyson out, so all you Fury Power people and fans don't have to hammer me for it. We're going on who he's fought. He's beat Vladimir and he drew with Wilder. That's the result, the draw. That's it, at world level. 2 fights, Vladimir and Wilder. Now, we know he put a good performance in against Wilder, but he got dropped twice in a close fight, wasn't it? He maybe shaded it by 2 rounds, but he got dropped twice. That's the bottom line. In America, for their golden belt, you're never going to get a win over there. This is why he needs to be not the opponent and the own fighter, so I can see the logic. But his CV, does it warrant all the hype? Then you've got Joshua's CV. Parker and Charlie Martin, world champions, but they never beat a champion. Martin got his belt when the guy fell over and did his knee in a vacant belt for Tyson's old belt. Parker beat Andy Ruiz, right, for Tyson's vacant belt. Now, fair enough, Joshua beat Martin, but he got the belt by default, didn't he? Parker got the belt by default. So, and then you go to Povetkin. He was a regular champion and blowing up. Really, when he were in the Olympics, he was a heavy, not super heavy, a smaller guy in his 40th year. And then the 4th champion that Joshua's beat, who was that? Vladimir. In his 42nd year, 69th fight. Life and death. Life and death. That's it. So all 3 fighters, Joshua, Wilder, Tyson Fury, you can pick holes in the CVs till the cows come home. And they're all swerving each other by the looks of it. They've all got different TV deals with everybody. Showtime, ESPN, DAZN. How much longer can this go on? How much longer can I take? But the fights have got to happen. We want them to happen. The fans want them. The management teams behind them maybe don't. Maybe the fighters want them, but they're getting bad advice. But I don't want to see all this spin doctoring. It's doing me head in, it's no good. Let's see some proper fights. Only the fans can get them to fight. Now, how are you going to do that? It's simple. Don't buy the pay-per-views. Don't buy them. Don't buy their pay-per-views. I'm telling you, don't buy them. Get a stream. Get a stream. It's very easy to do. All you've got to do is Google 10 boxing streams and get all the 10 and just go through them and keep trying them on the day. That's all you do. And eventually out of them 10 you'll get them. There's about 30 altogether. You will get them. Why pay? Why pay for, who's going to pay for Brazil Wilder? Am I going to stream it? Yeah, I won't pay for it. Would you pay for Tyson Fury against Parker? No. I'll get it on a stream. I won't pay for that. Would I pay for Joshua Miller? No. I'll go to a pub and watch him, but I'm not paying for him because it's not what I as a fan want. As a subscriber of BT Sport and Sky now, sadly, I'm not going to pay for it. I want the proper fights. I want the proper fights. Everybody wants the proper fights. I don't want to hear stories that there's 10 guys in division and the main 3 are not fighting who they should, and that 5 of them have been done for drugs, and 3 of them 5 are still not registered for VADA. I'm not interested in it all. I want to see fights. I want to see everybody on VADA who's in top 10, and I want to see fights. That's what, the middleweight division, 9 out of 10 are registered, right, with VADA. There's only one of them who wins. It's that Bryant or something. He's in number 9 on BoxRec. They're your glamour divisions, middleweight and heavyweight, and I want to see one champion in each. I don't want to see all this messing about by promoters and manipulating it so it's alright for them, because they go to bed and sleep like babies at night. They're not in the ring taking the punches. I want to see proper fights, and you the fans are the ones who can stop all this. You've got to fight back. If we don't fight back against all this, what's going to happen? So I'm urging you all to fight back and make a stand against it. And when you sat at home and you're thinking, do you know what, I can afford 20 quid, but why should I? Why should we have, right, let me read these questions out that we've had from somebody. Why should we line people's pockets, right? I'm going to read these questions out to you now that I've had sent in by somebody. These were very good questions. You listen to these. Now this person wanted to come on channel, but she's very busy. But I'm going to read her name out. Right, here we are. I don't think I've scrubbed them off. Have a look. Right, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I've got these questions here, right? These questions are from Lady Marsh on YouTube. Claire Marsh. She's a lovely looking lady. She's 40-year-old. She was in Navy. She runs a charity shop up north. She's a nice person and she's an hardcore boxing fan, right? And she sent me in 3 questions. So Claire, I hope you're watching. You're probably a bit embarrassed now because you are shy. Question 1. Why should fans pay for shit feasts to create the multi-million deal opportunities for fighters who are already millionaires? Good question. Why should we? These fighters are already minted, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Question 2. How much money does a man need to secure his family before it is simply greed? Exactly. Now you'll hear fighters say, I want to secure my family's future, but when you're already a millionaire, why should we have to pay for more? For example, what I think Claire's getting at is David Hay. He had the Audley Harrison pay-per-view and he got pay-per-view banned in England for 3 years. A couple of years later he went out to Germany. We had Toegate against Vladimir, another terrible pay-per-view. He then came back and said he was going to fight Tyson Fury twice and it never happened. He disappeared 4.5 years, come back, held together by sellotape. He said he was stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet, and he fought Tony Bellew twice, held together by glue. And Sky actually fell for it. He's now a millionaire worth 10 million quid. He went from being bankrupt to 10 million. So why should we put up with that? Why should we put up with it? It's not fair, and it's just a liberty abusing fans like this. So I can see where Claire's coming from, and I can see what she means. Now, question 3. Hang on a minute, when I get it. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. Question 3. Don't boxing fans deserve quality fights for their hard-earned cash? Now, yeah, we do. We deserve good fights. We don't deserve Eddie Hearn using platforms on YouTube like IFL, Behind the Gloves, people like that who are in his pocket. We know what goes on, don't we? We know what, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We know what goes on. Eddie Hearn is playing you all. Now, when he gets caught out with monstrous lies, he just goes on IFL and spins a yarn. And we're all like that, aren't we? Oh, it's not true. Oh, Eddie Hearn said this, Eddie Hearn said that. Look, he's playing all of you. And you all keep falling for it and keep buying these pay-per-views. Now, these casuals that are doing it are gimps. You live in the world of mongery. You are gimps and mongers. Now you need to stop it and fight back. Now, fans deserve better. Fighters deserve better, but how much is enough? Now, when you've got all these people having the pension fights, I mean, look at James DeGale. That were awful, that performance of the night, but yet you've got Paulie Malignaggi and Jim McDonnell. James is a 20-round fighter. Beautiful, beautiful son. Jim McDonnell there saying that James DeGale's stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. He weren't, was he? He struggled against a journeyman in Caleb Truex twice, 2 life and deaths. So we're never going to be able to take Eubank on, worry. The last win James DeGale had was after he gave his belt up. He fought a guy ranked 600 on BoxRec. 600, that's his last win, that's his last KO. The guy before he fought Eubank now, 600 he were ranked on BoxRec. That's shocking. I bet there's only, well, there's only 1,300 heavyweights in the world, but he's a super middleweight, isn't he? I bet that's about a third of what super middleweights there is in the world. 600 ranked? What? A guy who's just given up his world title. It's shocking. He's held together by sellotape. He's just retired now. He's gone into the sunset with a pay-per-view. Tony Bellew gone into the sunset with 3 pay-per-views on the trot. On the trot. I can't believe it. 3 pay-per-views on the trot. Carl Froch only had 3 in his whole career. Bellew had 4. David A. gone into sunset with 2 pay-per-views on trot. And the 2 fights before he fought Journeyman, he got £1 million piece a pound. He got £1 million a fight off Dave Channel. Steve North, who owns Dave Channel on UK TV Gold, paid David A £1 million each fight. Demori and that other guy, the Cobra, whatever, DeJerga or something. One were called the Cobra, he was more like a maggot, and the other one were called Demori, who learned to box off YouTube. $1 million each for them, and what did he get? 8 million for the 8 point something million for the 2 Bellew fights. So David A came back, 4 fights, 2 journeymen, and folded twice against Bellew. 10 million quid before tax. How's about that? He's now a promoter, living big, living it large. Does he care about you people? Does David Hay care when he is in the ring at the end, hugging and kissing Tony Bellew, and then months later it all starts again, the hate, and then hugging and kissing again? He shafted you all twice. At least James DeGale and Eubank, there were bad tensions at end, weren't there? But come on, James DeGale lifted fans' legs there, didn't he? And where's Jim McDonnell going to go now after that? What's going to happen to him? Who's going to touch him now after that? Well, it remains to be seen, doesn't it? But at the end of the day, right, fans are being took the piss out of. They're taking the piss out of us, and it's no good, and I'm up to here with it. We're sick to death of it. We're fighting back, and this pay-per-view has got to stop. We've got a pay-per-view overkill. It's an overkill. Tyson Fury's last world title win, and his only world title win, were 2015. We're approaching the summer of 2019, and he's nowhere near a world title fight. But I bet he's on pay-per-view. Now the pay-per-view criteria has got to be minimum world title fight, or minimum belts in bin and elite fighters. Alright, Parker's not an elite fighter. Is Tyson an elite fighter? Maybe. He needs an elite win, doesn't he? But he's a masterful boxer, and he's got the art of a lion. But I want to see no pay-per-view or stacked cards with proper fights. Now, Tyson Fury against Parker would be a good chief support for a pay-per-view under Joshua against Wilder. That'd be a fantastic chief support, wouldn't it? A night of heavyweight boxing. I don't want to see Dave Allen as chief support against Lucas Brown on pay-per-views. I want to see elite fights, and Dave Allen's my mate, but sometimes I've got to see it as I see it. I want to see elite fights for my 20 quid before I'm going to part with it, because 4 minutes to go. Because at the end of the day, it's starting to be liberties, isn't it? Liberties are being taken, and people are falling for it. Like I've said to you, pay-per-view's a problem, StubHub's a problem, fighters not registered with VADA. You know, it's craziness what's going on, isn't it? 3 out of the top 10 are not registered with VADA. Why is that? Why is that? Tyson Fury not registered with VADA. Miller, Anthony Joshua. 7 out of the top 10 are not registered for all year round testing with VADA. Why is that? Why is that? Why have we got Dillian White doing stories about why Joshua's, why the Dubai tourism are sending a private jet for Joshua to fly him out to Dubai after every fight? He's out there hard at weight then, isn't he? Why is that? So nobody can get near him. It's all shrouded in mystery. Why is it in 32-year Matchroom have never had a man fail a drug test on their shows? Never, not one has a hometown Matchroom fighter failed. Only one show where a man's failed. You know what that was? Kenny Anderson against Robin Reed. Kenny Anderson failed a drug test for amphetamine. Robin Reed didn't get to know about it for a year, but Matchroom at board now after 3 months. So why wasn't a rematch ordered? Or why wasn't the belt declared vacant or no contest and Robin Reed slotted in to fight Paul Smith or Tony Dodson for a vacant belt? Why? Because they don't want scandal. So, alright. Anyway, I've said my bit now. This is going to go out as a one video. It's going to be 50 odd to up to 60 minutes. I want to shout out to Dronsfields in Mercedes. They do Mercedes parts. It's a one of the biggest breakers in country. Shaw in an area called Shaw in Oldham, innit? I want to shout out to Dronsfields. It's Russ from Porky's Corner, or Porky, whatever you want to call me. Shout out to Dronsfield. If you've got a Mercedes and you need any parts for it, they're the people to go to. Dronsfield's in north of England, alright? Peace out, keep on trucking, keep supporting boxing, it's a great sport, and don't have nightmares. Oh, and pew 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 pew.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking.